For over 4,000 years, the pyramids of Egypt have guarded secrets buried deep within their walls. Now, new discoveries are finally shedding light on mysteries once thought lost to time. Let's uncover them together. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain made of stone. This isn't just any mountain, though. It's a pyramid, a colossal tomb built by a lost civilization 4,000 years ago. For centuries, it has stood silent under the blistering Egyptian sun, holding its secrets tight. The air around it buzzes with an energy you can almost taste. The energy of history, of mystery, and of countless untold stories. We've always believed we knew what was inside these incredible structures. We thought we had mapped every corridor, catalogued every chamber, and understood the grand design. But what if we were wrong? What if the ancient builders left clues that we just couldn't see? Secrets waiting for the right moment and the right tools to be revealed. The thrill of archaeology is the thrill of the unknown. It's about peeling back the layers of time, one grain of sand at a time. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the last surviving wonder of the ancient world, has been a source of fascination for millennia. Explorers, scholars, and treasure hunters have all tried to unlock its mysteries. They crawled through its tight passages and marveled at its grand galleries. They found the king's chamber and the queen's chamber, and an empty sarcophagus that only deepened the enigma. For a long time, it seemed like the pyramid had given up all it was going to give. The story felt complete, but a new chapter was about to be written, one that would challenge everything we thought we knew. The feeling on the ground in Egypt is electric. There's a constant hum of discovery in the air. Every day, teams from around the world work tirelessly, driven by a shared passion for the past. They know that beneath their feet could be a lost tomb, a forgotten temple, or a clue that rewrites history books. The local experts, whose ancestors may have even helped build these monuments, carry a deep instinctual knowledge of the land. They share stories passed down through generations, whispers of hidden places and powerful pharaohs. This recent wave of discovery began not with a shovel, but with a quiet suspicion, a nagging feeling that the greatest wonder of the world still had something to say. So we returned to the Giza Plateau, not just with trowels and brushes, but with a new sense of purpose. The ancient Egyptians were master builders and brilliant engineers. They constructed monuments to last for eternity, perfectly aligned with the stars. Is it really possible that they would build something so complex without a few hidden tricks up their sleeves? They were a people obsessed with the afterlife, creating elaborate pathways for their pharaoh's soul to travel to the heavens. It stands to reason that the physical structure of the pyramid might be just as complex and layered as their beliefs. The stage was set for a revelation, a discovery that would come from looking at this ancient wonder in a completely new way. How do you find a secret room inside 3 million blocks of solid stone? You can't just start drilling holes in a 4,500-year-old monument. That would be like taking a sledgehammer to the Mona Lisa to see what's behind the canvas. The answer lies in technology that the pyramid's builders could never have dreamed of. Scientists decided to use physics to do the heavy lifting. They brought in powerful tools like ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity tomography. These devices send waves of energy deep into the earth and into the stone itself. They then measure how those waves bounce back, creating a kind of underground map, a blueprint of what lies beneath the surface, completely unseen by the human eye. The first hint of something new came from outside the pyramid. Researchers scanning the ground at the base of the Great Pyramid detected a strange anomaly. The data showed an L-shaped structure buried deep in the sand. It wasn't natural. The sharp angles and defined shape pointed to something man-made. One part was shallow, maybe a few meters down, but it connected to something much deeper, a void sinking 10 meters into the bedrock. Archaeologists immediately began to speculate. Was it an undiscovered entrance, a series of storerooms, or perhaps the beginning of a subterranean complex that no one knew existed? It was a tantalizing clue, a shadow in the dark that demanded to be investigated. But the real game changer was a technique called muon tomography. This sounds like something straight out of science fiction. Muons are tiny particles that are created when cosmic rays from deep space hit Earth's upper atmosphere. They rain down on us constantly, passing through almost everything, including hundreds of feet of solid rock. By placing special detectors inside the pyramid, scientists could track the path of these muons. If the particles passed through empty space, more of them would reach the detector. If they passed through dense stone, fewer would get through. Over months, they built a picture, particle by particle, of the pyramid's hidden interior. This was a painstaking process, a high-tech waiting game. The team had to be incredibly patient as the data slowly trickled in. They were essentially taking an X-ray of a mountain, using the power of the cosmos itself as their machine. The goal was to see the pyramid's anatomy in a way no one ever had before. They weren't just looking for chambers, they were looking for differences in density, for anything that seemed out of place in the grand, solid structure. This technology offered a non-invasive way to respect the monument's integrity, while trying to force it to give up its longest-held secrets. The world watched and waited, hoping the particles would reveal a new piece of the puzzle. When the results from the moon detectors were finally pieced together, they revealed something astonishing. Deep inside the Great Pyramid, high above the magnificent Grand Gallery, there was a massive void. It wasn't a small pocket or a crack in the stone. It was a huge, chamber-like structure at least 30 meters long, with a cross-section similar to the gallery below it. The scientists checked and rechecked their data. It was real. They had found the first major new structure inside the Great Pyramid in over a century. They nicknamed it the Big Void, a simple name for a discovery that sent shockwaves through the world of Egyptology. The pyramid wasn't as solid as we thought. This discovery opened up a floodgate of questions. What was this enormous hidden space? The most exciting theory, of course, is that it could be the true burial chamber of the pharaoh Khufu. The sarcophagus found in the king's chamber was empty, leading some to believe it was a decoy designed to fool tomb robbers. Perhaps Khufu's real tomb, filled with unimaginable treasures and historical artifacts, has been waiting silently in this void for 4,500 years. It's a tantalizing thought. Finding an intact royal burial from this era would be the discovery of a lifetime, completely changing our understanding of the Old Kingdom and its funerary practices. However, other, more practical theories exist. Some experts believe the void might have a structural purpose. Building something as massive as the Great Pyramid was an incredible engineering challenge. The void could have been intentionally designed to relieve pressure from the immense weight of the stones above the Grand Gallery, preventing it from collapsing over the millennia. It might not be a chamber filled with gold, but rather a brilliant hidden architectural feature. In a way, this would be just as impressive. It would give us a new appreciation for the builders' sophisticated understanding of engineering and physics, proving they were even more advanced than we imagined. Then another discovery was made. Using a tiny camera fed through a small gap in the stones, another team found a hidden corridor just 9 meters long, located behind the pyramid's main entrance. This wasn't the Big Void, but it was another piece of the puzzle. What was this short passage for? Was it an unfinished hallway, a symbolic path for the pharaoh's spirit, or did it lead to something else, another chamber yet to be found? Each new discovery seems to branch into more mysteries, creating a complex map of secrets. We thought we were finding answers, but instead we are just uncovering more profound and compelling questions about the minds that conceived this incredible monument. These discoveries force us to ask the big questions all over again. Who were the people who designed these hidden features, and why did they go to such lengths to conceal them? If the Big Void is a tomb, why was it sealed so completely, with no apparent entrances or corridors leading to it? Was it meant to remain hidden forever? If the purpose was structural, why isn't this feature seen in other pyramids? The ancient Egyptians were meticulous record keepers, yet we have no recovered texts that speak of these secret chambers. It's as if the builders took the knowledge to their graves, leaving behind a silent stone puzzle for future generations to solve. The path forward is filled with challenges. The Big Void is completely inaccessible. We can't just drill into it. The Egyptian authorities are rightly protective of their national treasure and will not allow any action that could damage the pyramid. So, archaeologists and scientists must get creative. New missions are already being planned using even more advanced muon detectors. These next-generation devices will have 100 times the sensitivity of the ones that first found the void. The plan is to create a true three-dimensional tomographic image, like a medical CT scan, to see the shape, size, and maybe even the contents of the void in stunning detail. The quest for knowledge is a relentless one. Even as we grapple with the mysteries of Giza, new discoveries are being made elsewhere. In Mexico, a pre-Hispanic pyramid was recently unearthed during road construction, only to be threatened by budget cuts that could halt further research. In Egypt, fragments of the lost sarcophagus of Ramses II were identified, and new tombs are constantly being found in the Valley of the Kings. The work of an archaeologist is never truly done. It's a race against time, against the elements, and sometimes against a lack of funding. But the drive to understand our shared human story is a powerful motivator. In the end, the Great Pyramid holds its secrets as tightly as ever, but now we know they are there. We are no longer just looking at a monument, we are looking at a mystery box, and we finally have the tools to peek inside. The journey is far from over. It will require more innovation, more patience, and more international collaboration, but we will keep going. We will keep scanning, keep searching, and keep asking questions, because somewhere inside that mountain of stone, locked away in a chamber of darkness, the truth is waiting, and the expedition to find it has only just begun.